You have to walk like a champion, talk like a champion.
Hello and welcome to Life Uncensored, the podcast. I'm your host, Al Dogs, ALDOGS on Instagram, and you're watching Life Uncensored live in front of the studio audience. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there? Alright? So we strictly out of New York City, so you know that. So we're gonna only keep it real because New York City is life, but it's life uncensored. So that's what we're gonna bring to you. Today we got my boy Mark John Jeffries. He's a famous actor. He's been acting since he was a baby. So if you've ever seen Losing Isaiah, this is Isaiah. If you've ever seen Power, Haunted Mansion, you know, name a couple, Notorious, Stuart Little. But he's been in a lot of stuff. Google him, check his IMDb, he's lit. But he's here today just chilling with us. But the topic is for everybody, and the topic is love. So every human being wants love and wants to give love. But love can also be the source of the most traumatic and painful stuff in our life, right? So what is it? How do we deal with it? And how do we function with it? And we want to have this conversation because it's an important conversation, right? It's something that everybody needs and wants, but everybody has a soft spot. You know, once you pass puberty, 4 or 5 years in, your heart's been broken already. So it's like stuff you got to deal with for the rest of your life. So how do you deal with that? What is it? And let's talk about that. So first, we want to talk about what is love. So we don't like using experts all the time because I feel like, you know, how often are you going to be in a relationship with an expert who thinks he knows everything? You're going to be with a regular dude who thinks he knows everything. So let's be real, right? So let's talk to a real dude. Love. What do you think love is?
I think love is a condition where there's unconditional acceptance of a person and who they are. And even if it's not a reciprocated feeling, it's still there and it's still established because you have that kind of consideration or adornment for that person.
That's amazing, right? So whoever winds up getting in a relationship with him, you know, that's how he feels about love. I think you only get for me, you only get unconditional love from God. Everybody else's love is what infamous rabbi, he called it fish love. You know, he saw a guy who was eating a fish, and the guy was like, I love this fish. And he's like, you love the fish so much that you took it out of the sea, killed it, cooked it, and eat it. And that's not love. That's you loving yourself. That's not you loving the fish. And often people love other human beings because they make them feel a certain way when they walk outside, when they're home, when they're alone. They give them a certain feeling, so they love that person because of how it makes them feel. And that's fish love. But is that a part of what love is? So for me, I think there are 3 different types of love. There's a conditional or agape love. So that's like unconditional love, love that you get from God, love that a baby gets when it's born. You know, it's unconditional. It's like, oh my God, it's a baby. And God loves us unconditionally, right? But that eliminates the moment you can walk and that's gone. There's no more unconditional love. All your love is going to be based on what you do and how you act. And then there's relational love, which is what we're really here to talk about. And then there's brotherly love. Like, I love my nigga Mark. I ride for him. That's, you know, it's not nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So there's brotherly love, there's agape love, and then there's relationship love, which what we're going to talk about today is relationship love.
Romantic love.
Romantic love, yes.
Romantic.
I'm going to use my black voice now. I usually only use it in the morning. No. But, you know, we're going to talk about relationship love. So, for me, I feel like, for me, relational love is commitment. So, love is a verb. So, I feel like love is all actions. Part of it is a feeling, but feelings will always change, right? You feel hungry, you eat, you're not hungry no more. You feel happy, somebody does something dumb, you mad. So, your feelings will always change. So, I feel like love is when you care so much about somebody that you're willing to commit to them past how you feel. So once you pass how you feel, the commitment goes past how you feel. Because you can say, I love this person, but then 2 years later, you're like, yo, you can't stand the sight of them, they're getting on your nerves. So then the feeling of love is gone, right? But to me, when it's real love, it's something, when you get to a point where you're like, I'm gonna commit to this person past just my feelings. So even when my feelings change, I'm committed, and that's who I'm gonna be with, and that's it. So, you know, that's something. What do you think about that? Like, that's just my personal perspective, you know, and we're here to hear perspectives. Because everybody, we do have free will, so everybody gets to choose what their perspective is, and we want to hear from people who are here live with us to hear their perspectives and hope that this helps you and wherever you are. So, Mark, what do you think?
So this is what I think. All right, I agree with that, and then I disagree at the same time. And I say this because of this, right? I could choose to be with somebody, and that's a form of commitment, but I can't say that I love that person because I chose to be with them. For me personally, I just feel like it's a lot of nasty hoes out here, both male and female. I'm just keeping it real. It's a lot of nasty people.
Keep it down,
out
keep it
here,
down. We have
both
microphones
male
in
and
the room.
female. And now you gotta say stuff like, you know we together, right? You my girl. Because if you don't, she feels that that's free reign. She do whatever the hell she wants. So even though I may commit to you with some kind of title, it's not a point of love yet. I think what you was talking about though is like long term, that entitlement of we being together for a while, or now it's like point of marriage or moving in, that commitment that takes it beyond just words. I kind of agree with that. I feel like if you are going to commit to a person to that level where you're going to allow them to have a permanent place in your life to a certain extent, you should be sure about that person. And I feel like love is a sure thing. There's no question of it. You don't have to question when you love somebody. And if you can't accept a person and their flaws and still embrace them and who they are, you can't say you love that person.
I feel you. Now, what happens though, you know, I feel you and I respect that, but what happens when you get with somebody who feels differently? And they're like, I loved you, but I don't love you no more. And I don't want to deal with your shit. And that I feel like is the reality of a lot of people. Everybody has their own definition of love, right? So what happens when you meet somebody, you love them the way you do, you get with that person, but their definition of love is completely different. Their definition of love is, you should pay for all my stuff. Or you should, you know, cook me food every day. Or you should massage my feet, and when I come home from work, my dinner should be on the table waiting for me. That's how you show me you love me. You know?
And I'll be like, I'll be like, shorty, that's your job. What you talking about cooking?
I know, I was
dinner. That's your job. I'm supposed to come home and eat, not you.
But I'm
the actor.
I was trying to speak on the other side of a woman's behalf.
Okay.
Who guys expect that. So what I'm saying is that everybody, male and female, have their own idea of what love is. So how do you deal with that when you're a whole person, raised a certain way, come from a certain family, background, beliefs, and then you meet somebody else who's from a different family, different background, different beliefs, but when you saw them, they were hot, when you hung out, you had a great time, and then you spent time with them and you were like, this person is my fish love. This person fulfills everything that I want for myself, and they give me what I need, so I want to be with this person, but they have a whole different, you know, they feel the same way about you, but their definition of love is different.
I feel like this, right? People learn to love. We learn to love through experiencing love. And sometimes what people feel love is, they're not sure until you teach them. So I feel like one thing is education. If I see that you have a misguided view of love, or you feel like love is a temporary, fleeting thing, you love me when you're happy, but you can't stand me when you're mad and you don't love me anymore, then I got to educate you and teach you if I have allowed myself to love you. I also feel like it comes to a certain, even in situations like that, just because, okay, your view of love is different, you don't love me anymore, cool. But I'm not childish. Just because you change the way you feel about me doesn't mean that changes the way I feel about you. Because for me, I know what real love is. I'm not using it as just a term. I know that regardless of what you choose to do tomorrow, I may not like it, it may hurt me, but I will still love you as a person. And I will still help you, and I will still want to see you succeed. And I'll never leave you burnt or try to do anything crazy, because I really want the best for you. And sometimes it's unselfish, right? Sometimes it could be where you love a person so much, but you see that you're not right for them, and you have to love them enough to let them go.
100%.
Because your love is poisoning them. You know, it's changing them. So, for me personally, I feel like you got to know when to hit the Brizzy song and throw up the deuces, and you got to know when to fight it out.
Amen. Amen. I mean, we definitely going to a close-up during that, because I was about to bust out laughing when you said that. Because I was like, you ain't staying with no dirt. But now you clarified it that, yeah, you got to know when to give them the peace sign.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to know when to be like, all right, well, that's how you feel. So
Deuces.
you don't love me anymore because we don't go on as many trips or bet. So you never love me, but that don't mean I don't
you
love
talking about relationships or you talking about like?
I'm talking about relationships.
You talking about A-Boogie Wild Thoughts? What you talking about?
Nah, I mean,
You talking about joints you just fly to have fun?
and
Or you
look,
talking about like
y'all know this
relationships?
is true. No, you know this is true with women, right? Sometimes a woman has their patterns or their customs that they're used to, and they form comfortabilities, and we all form that. But sometimes when there's other problems in a relationship and she doesn't know how to verbalize what she's truthfully feeling, she blames it on stuff like material. We're not as happy because we don't have time to go on trips like we used to, and it's not, that's not what it is. It's stemming from somewhere else. So you get a lot of people that misguidedly place holes in their relationships on things. And sometimes that could lead a person saying, well, I don't want to be with you anymore because the thing that we use to bond or to fix our problems, we don't do anymore. So now I'm moving on. And it's like, all right, cool. If you feel like our problems or whatever stems from that place and that's enough for you to move on, cool. You never love me because you don't understand what love is. So bye, but I still love you. And if you need me tomorrow, I'm there for you. And if you don't have anywhere to go, I'll leave if I have somewhere to go. Because I still love you. I'm never going to do you filthy.
That's dope. I tell you.
But I'm going to tell the next dude, she got herpes. No. She's not feeling.
That's funny because I hope y'all were listening. Because when he said that, all that said to me was, he sings that song. See, I can have me a good girl and still be addicted to the hood rat. Yeah, those who know, know. Because the day a girl tells me, we not happy because we don't go on trips.
Yeah, exactly.
I turn into Sheck West. I'm just the shit, bitch. Get the fuck out of my house. Excuse me to all my Christian friends. I'm saved. It's TV. It's TV.
That's OD.
Y'all forgive me.
When that lightning bolt comes down.
It's just words. The behavior is a real deal.
Yeah.
My behavior is legit. Expression of words, that's a policy.
True.
But that's interesting. So now, past that, right? I want to do the next question. Is love a feeling or is it actions?
It's action.
Okay.
It's all action because feeling is supposed to move you to action. So if it never moves you to action, then you don't feel. It's that simple. If I love you, there's certain things that I'm going to do where you'll see my love. Because I wouldn't do that for somebody that I don't love. Love is sacrificing. Love is several things.
It's patient, it's kind.
It's patient, it's kind, it's mildness, it's all of those things. So my thing is, if it's all of those things, if I have that feeling about you, you're going to see it. If you don't see it, then I don't have that feeling. So it's not there.
And that, I agree with 150%.
We got one.
150%. I agree with that. So
I've known him for 4 or 5 years. It's the first time I've ever heard him agree with me.
it took him 5 years to catch up. But he made it. Nah, but that's what's up. So now, so now that we've identified what we think that love is and how love goes from a feeling into action, right? Now what happens in a relationship? So we want to reach out to the audience. Who want to share? Who want to talk? Ooh, come on, we got some bad joint who stuck a finger in the outlet. Come on. Come on, get up, let's sit down for a little while.
Shut up. Shut up.
Children at home, do not stick your fingers in outlets.
Yeah, I feel walk like a champion, talk like a champion. Yeah, I feel walk like a champion, talk like a champion. We got the best pizza in the world. We got the best pizza, hands down. We on top and we won't slow down. The pepperoni is the best in the world. It's so cozy, I'ma bring my girl. Good for lunchtime, good for takeout. Her quick bite on the run, on the way out. Margarita.